Tiroma Hafare, my name is Jude Litulumar, and I'm a son of the Marianas. I grew up and reside in the island of Saipan, in the village of Kagman, and I am a student studying natural resource management and also an advocate for the culture of the CNMI and also the environment of the CNMI. Growing up, I would hear stories from my elders of their adventures just out in the reef or just being in island in general, and they really learned to appreciate just the natural environment and the natural beauty that we have on island. And as we grow older, we start to see the effects of climate change and all other environmental issues, and this concerns not only the community but also the people who grew up here for all their life. It was really daunting to see how scared they were of how big of a change can happen throughout one lifetime. They said that the coral reefs are not as vibrant as they were. They would see so many different colors, but now it's starting to get dull. The beaches are eroding really, really fast, to the point where even the most popular and frequented beaches have been pushed so far back. And if you look at pictures from back when we were kids or when we were younger, it would stretch out for quite a bit. So it's definitely of concern, which is why I wanted to advocate more for our environment, because Saipan is such a small place, but it's something that a lot of people call home, and it's definitely something that is worth protecting. I feel like storytelling is really important, most especially verbally. I think that's how a lot of the things would get passed down. We do it through talking story, through sharing conversations and connecting with each other. And without that piece of our culture, I feel like a lot of the stuff wouldn't have been passed down, especially because writing has not really become such a big thing until recent. All aspects of storytelling is really just important to, I guess, safehold what we have. Growing up, I was predominantly, I was an English speaker. My family, they spoke Refaluwasch and Chamorro. However, since I grew up speaking English, English was spoken to me most of the time, if not all of the time, because it was the easiest way to get the message across. And I guess with growing up as well, I just didn't take it seriously learning other languages, because it was much easier to speak English. Even in school, like learning Carolinian and Chamorro in elementary, I still wouldn't really put much thought into it. I just did it for the class, did it for the activities. And I guess that kind of affected me growing up later on, because eventually I wanted, or as time grew by, I longed to have that, have more of the knowledge of the language, but I just didn't have that. And of course, it took some time to really get used to the fact that, yeah, I don't know it, but I can know it. And it's what you do, it's the action that you take towards it. Definitely now I see myself in open arms to learning more things, learning the language, and definitely learning more about the culture. And I feel like just that action alone is such a big, proud moment, Just wanting to know more about it is making me feel better about my actions before. There's actually one story that really caught my interest. It is about how navigation came to be in, I guess, Micronesia. It began on Polak, It was started from a bird called the kuling, and the kuling was a spirit. So it was a navigational spirit bird. And when the kuling came to pull up, after it ate all the people from all other islands, and when it came to pull up, the chief received it, and the chief told his daughter to get half of a coconut shell, to put a little bit of pounded breadfruit in it, and one young coconut. And when the kuling ate all the pounded breadfruit, it looked back inside, and the coconut was full again, and the breadfruit was full again. So then it kept eating and drinking, until eventually it became very full. And the kuling was very satisfied and decided to teach the daughter of the chief how to navigate. So he told the daughter, or he took copra and he planted it until it sprouted, and told the daughter to climb up the coconut tree. And when she did, she saw all the islands in the world. When the lady got married, she had 2 sons, and she taught them navigation. And those 2 sons were actually the 2 sons who started up schools of navigation across Micronesia. Yes, navigation is such a cool thing to really take in, because in a generation where we rely so much on technology, it's amazing to imagine what it was like back then, when all you had to do was rely on just the environment, just the stars, like anything that would give you a hint of where you came from and where you're going. That's what they use. And it just shows how much perseverance and how much drive it took for our people to get to where we're at right now. I would say that no one is perfect. We can't know everything. And all we can do is embrace what we have and what we want to know. And there's no shame in not knowing much of your culture or not knowing your language, because at the end of the day, this is something that is for you to discover. It's your journey. So embrace it and be proud.